So the plan of today's video is we're waiting on parts for the Chevy. The headers didn't fit. They were four-wheel drive headers, and this is two-wheel drive. Then we are going to put a new fuel pump and generator, fuel pump and fuel filter and generator on the camper, and pull the engine on the El Camino. It's a blowed up transmission, and then we'll get to see the carnage of that. So the headers here, they were for four-wheel drive, and so I'm guessing they're higher up. I didn't know this. So they're missing the exhaust system by a few inches. There's probably to clear all the four-wheel drive stuff on the other ones. It's hard to tell down there, but they're off way. And so I ordered some. They'll be here in a couple days. Finished up the oil pressure line. Had to order that. Got the radiator back in and done. Put my fan on it. The fan is not inside the shroud. This isn't long enough. I have another one, another spacer that we're gonna put, on top of that. I have to go get some longer bolts to go through that. To put this, see, the fan needs to go inside the shroud for ultimate cooling. Power steering is on, new brackets. It's a pretty simple setup, cheap, 30 bucks. Got the belts on, everything's done. And so yeah, just waiting on headers for that. Then we'll hook the exhaust up and we'll be good to go and ready to go. Got a temperature gauge in. I haven't figured the wiring out on this to run the stock gauge. I'm just putting this one in to make sure, and then I'm going to test it and do other ones. This old steering, we got to tighten up the column. I got all the pieces. We're going to tear it apart, tighten it all up, and these big ass old steering wheels, it's not a tilt column, so like there's no room there to fit my big legs in. So ordered this here off Amazon for 25-30 bucks, I think it was. We're gonna put that on when we tighten down the steering column. Because yeah, what would happen is this would, evidently this, when you turn the steering wheel, the shifter would move, and that's what over revved the last engine. Here's our header mufflers. These are the best thing ever. You put it right on the muffler. They're kind of legal enough to not get pulled over and, living out in the boondocks. But yeah, it's update so far. Once we get all that done, I'll show you all that and show you the tools it takes. I found out where my transmission was leaking from. I replaced a bunch of the seals except for the shifter linkage. Where it's at, where your shifter hooks onto the transmission, there's a bolt, there's a seal in there, and that seal is gone. It's leaking. So I put tranny fluid in it, and it's leaking right out of it. So ordered that and a special tool, which I'll show that because that's actually pretty useful information, and it's a common thing on these old trucks. And second of all, I found another piece here. This here is a heat shield protector for the starter wires going by the headers. You need that. I put 2 of them on there to just make sure those wires don't melt and you don't get stranded. Last video I showed you a dyno pull off the El Camino. What I didn't finish of that story was they said they was going to do about 4 or 5 to get their machine right, then start tuning on the carburetor on the El Camino and get it performance and set everything and do what they do. What didn't happen was I recorded the first one. I did not want to put out like videos of 20 pulls, so I was like, yeah, I'll wait till they get their machines right and then watch the pulls, because they were short and that one wasn't right. That was, you know, just a little one. So in the midst of their getting their machines right, had a little excitement. This is a piece of transmission, and I was down there and I've hooked everything here, and let's just say that the old boy that runs that shop, he was not impressed with all the decorating I did with metal and tranny oil. And on top of that, you know, if you watched Roadkill, one of those times Freiburger, they spilt tranny oil somewhere in guy's yard driveway, and he goes, "Hey, you should be thanking me. It's a detergent. I'm cleaning it for you once you wash it off." And I told that old boy that, and he didn't laugh. He was not impressed. They did help me push it on the trailer and charged me $300, but he was not impressed with my jokes. But get this thing out and take a tour of the transmission and see the carnage for sure. Well, that's not how it's supposed to be, I think. I don't think I'm that good a welder here. Let's see. Maybe when, yep. Well, got the motor pulled and the tranny, and she is definitely ducked. So guess I don't know what we're gonna do here. Save up for a good one eventually, because I don't want to change my mount, suspension, drive shaft loop, all the stuff I have set up for Turbo 350. So maybe we can find one that'll hold the torque and the power of a big block. But that's the update so far. On to the next.